Good afternoon, everyone. So we're here for our weekly business and community check-in with Julie and Nicole from One Epic Place. I'd love to just start with you guys telling us about the business and maybe how each of you ended up, working with One Epic Place. Like, where did you come from to end up here?
Sure. Well, thanks for having us. We started completely by accident. Julie and I were both coaches and started sharing an office together. And slowly, the vision for One Epic Place grew out of word of mouth and people hearing and learning what we were doing and needing space. And it just kind of grew from there.
Yeah, we found, we started sharing space and just telling people what we were doing. And we didn't realize what a big need there was for other people to have either a place to land or part-time office space. They didn't necessarily need full-time with all the overhead that goes with it. So like she said, it just kind of happened by accident, and slowly people started sharing the 3-room office that we had. And next thing you know, we took over the floor above us, and then we moved to the building on 122 Main Street, and it just kind of grew very organically. And we always, we listen to what people need and we try to make it happen. So that's kind of.
So tell us a little bit about the different types of businesses. I looked at your website quickly, and because you have different spaces that can accommodate different types of businesses. So explain how that works.
Sure. Originally we thought we were going to be more geared towards wellness, but one of our first members was a musician and needed a space to do recording. So we kind of set that up. And so now we cater to all types of businesses, whether it's financial planners, therapists, voice coaches, artists, engineers, you name it. We probably have it here. And so as those different members came in, we would create the space that was needed. So, and a lot of our rooms are very flexible. So depending on what the need is, we can rearrange things. So, and we have private offices, treatment rooms, workshop and event space, shared workspace. Am I missing anything, Nicole?
Well, Julie right now is in the shared business hub. So that's a shared space where you can work independently. And then we have private offices that in the main building that you can rent hourly or by the day. And then we have permanent offices now. So we have 2 buildings on Innes Avenue, a building behind us. And then now we just decided we're moving into the building next door also. And those are full-time permanent spaces. But we were finding a lot of our members were maybe coming to us trying just like as a startup, needing part-time space, and then quickly grew their business to where they needed a full-time office space that was private, but didn't want to leave the Epic network and community. So we grew in that direction as well. And the event space, which is in the back, it's a small studio event space that is about 800 square feet. And so we have workshops and parties and classes, yoga classes, and like educational seminars back there as well.
So what has it been like at One Epic Place during COVID? Has it been a whole lot quieter, or are there individual rooms where just a single person is still using them? Like how is it shaken out?
It's been pretty quiet. I mean, we're trying to adhere to all the recommendations by the county and state. So the capacity is pretty low right now. We do have members who are essential services, so they are using the building when they need it. And then also any of the permanent private offices that are essential services. Some are using the space, some are not. But yeah, it's definitely much quieter. But we've been staying connected through Zoom like everybody else, having weekly member coffees, game nights online and chats. So we try to all stay connected.
Have you had to do anything differently in terms of cleaning the place or making sure that those requirements were met?
Yeah, I mean, Ulster County, the local government has just been amazing with providing resources and making sure that we're all informed with what we need to do. So we downloaded the safety template provided by New York Forward on the state site and put together a whole safety plan. So yeah, there's definitely a lot more cleaning and disinfecting and just making sure that social distancing is being adhered to. And then before we open for phase 2, hopefully next week, there'll be additional signage and protocols in place. We'll have like a station before people come in the building to make sure that they're not showing any signs of fever or symptoms, and that they're following all the protocol.
And have you received interest from maybe folks who had been working in New York City and are now looking to relocate? Because we've all learned how to use Zoom, and maybe they can conduct their business now that they didn't realize that this was an option in the past.
Yes, we're definitely getting calls from people that are, either have vacation homes up here, or they're just even Airbnb-ing or deciding to relocate because they're now working remotely and finding themselves in a totally unfamiliar, and different situation where they're working from home and maybe their internet isn't as good, or their kids have been home for the past 3 months and they need to get out of the house. So we're definitely seeing a new and increased need for that, for sure.
Well, is it any industries that have been particularly noteworthy in terms of folks who want to relocate or work more remotely than they may have considered possible?
It's a very eclectic. We've had people that work for Delta, that are in sales, that are in real estate. I mean, it really is across the board. It's a pretty eclectic mix.
Mm-hmm.
What are your numbers like now in terms of like total different types of businesses that are members?
There's probably close to about 50 different businesses that are members. We also have several non-members who use the space as needed. So yeah, about 50 different members. And I would say it's a pretty good mix of, business, creative, and wellness professionals. I don't know that it really skews any in one direction or another, so.
Got it. I'm just checking my internet connection. It was saying that it was unstable for a moment.
That's why I came here, because I get the unstable thing a lot at home, so.
Yeah. That's good marketing for One Epic is
Yeah, right.
Unstable internet connections from home.
Yeah. All right, well, I'll comment on that for a second. We do have a hardwire in all of the rooms, so a little plug there. The Ethernet cables in the business hub and the private room.
Got it. What's the other type of internet connection as opposed to cable? Because I think it may be available in some parts of New Paltz.
Actually, our building is one of the buildings that is available in. I think our building, and I think maybe down on Route 32 North in the district down there, is it called fiber?
Right.
It is, right, fiber optic. And so we were really fortunate that the tenants that were in this building before us were a visual effects production company. And so this building is like wired to the hilt. So we actually can take advantage of that fiber optic internet.
Got it. So what has it been like just being in New Paltz during this, this quiet last few months? Like, how has it felt? Like, what's, clearly it's completely different, but do you have any interesting anecdotes or observations?
I just think we are so lucky to live in this area. I mean, I'm sure so many people say this about their hometown or the area they live in, but there's just something special about New Paltz and the Hudson Valley. And I feel really lucky that, we're here during this time. You know, we can still go walking on the rail trail and keep social distancing. I've been kayaking, hiking. So I've never felt, you know, I just can't imagine what it would be like to be in the city and stuck in an apartment. And just, you know, just for the most part, people are just so wonderful and really supportive of each other. So,
been trying to stay connected with the business community. Every Friday there's a New Paltz virtual coffee chat at 9 o'clock. And just, you know, trying to keep in touch with the chamber and other local businesses, and just seeing all the great things that they're doing has been really helpful for us. Just staying connected and feeling supported and supporting each other.
I think that's the one thing, you know, why One Epic Place has grown the way it has, because this is a very community oriented area. And we didn't realize when we were providing all this space for businesses that how much community would play a role in it. I think community has probably been the most important thing about Epic, you know, which was like such a great benefit to us too, because we're inspired every day by our members, and it's just, they're pretty awesome.
Is there any, I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say, in the quiet for the past few months has even made that more apparent to us. You know, absence makes the heart grow fonder. It's corny, but we miss our members a lot. Just seeing Ted and Richard, Julie and I both got a little teary. Yes, I think the community is super, super important to us.
Right, and New Paltz is clearly a college town, and even, you know, lots of businesses have, you know, are directly affected by SUNY New Paltz, and, you know, and then it feels like every business is indirectly affected by SUNY New Paltz. So what's your take on, or what has it felt like where, you know, SUNY has been completely different, and, you know, going forward, like, it's still unclear whether SUNY will be, you know, back to it normally would be this fall, or, you know, what are your thoughts on, you know, One Epic Place, where New Paltz is not exactly the college town that it's been for several decades?
Yeah, I mean, I think it'll definitely be different if they don't come back. I mean, I grew up in this town, and so, you know, not only do we have the 4 seasons, but we have the college seasons, you know, and you get used to that kind of rhythm when you live here. And we also have a really robust intern program through SUNY New Paltz. We've hosted interns here probably for over 3 years now, and have had anywhere from 5 to, I think our top number was 26 interns in a semester. And we've developed really close relationships with all of those students, and ones who have graduated that we still stay in touch with, some who are mentoring because they've started their own businesses, which is just so cool. But yeah, so, you know, halfway through the semester, we had to switch to virtual internship. But we made sure that we stayed connected with them every week, that they, you know, felt like they were being supported and helped with their projects. And so we plan to still have interns in the fall, whether it's virtual or in person. We've already got all our interns who are going to be on board. So it'll be different, but, you know, we just have to make it work.
So how does that internship program work? Is that an internship program to work with One Epic Place, or do you like find matches, like interns for some of your members? Like, how does it work?
Yeah, we do both. So they start working with us and our team, and then we offer to our members the ability to work with the interns. So they submit a proposal, and then we present that to the interns, and if we, you know, feel like it's a good match, we'll make that connection. So we'll kind of just play matchmaker in a way, and it's a benefit to the interns because now they're exposed to so many different businesses and opportunities and mentors. So yeah, actually Ted could probably speak a little bit to that.
Yeah, certainly it's been you know, beneficial for me to have our, you know, our office in New Paltz at One Epic is, you know, worked out really well for us as Walden, and before when we just came to New Paltz. But the internship program has been, you know, good for us because they already have the structure much like the paper towels in the bathroom and stuff like that, I don't have to worry about it. They've got the structure in place for the interns themselves. And then if I have an idea, I get all kinds of crazy ideas and things like that, but I need some research done, or I need some tasks done, or for the semester long, I need someone to work on a certain technical topic. I've put together that proposal for them, and they put me in contact with some really good interns. But then I don't have to worry about the administrative side, or and they get still the same kind of professional training that they do with One Epic itself. I can just focus on using them for the technical or research elements that I need. They'll be right there at One Epic, and so it's really worked out well. And it's something underutilized. I think I'd like to use it more in the future. And I think as the program grows, we'll be able to pull the best and the brightest out of the SUNY system to get some great exposure here in the village.
Yeah.
Just go ahead, Julie.
No, just one quick thing I wanted to mention is this past semester, before all this happened, we actually started a group called Merge, because there's other businesses and organizations in New Paltz that also have interns, New Paltz Chamber, Gilday Creative, Haynes Marketing. And so it's a group where all can kind of come together and share their experiences, and also because we're all different, have different roles in the community, whether we're business owners or leaders. The interns have an opportunity to have additional mentors, not just us, but maybe Chris Short at the New Paltz Chamber could help mentor them in marketing or things like that. So it's something new that we're doing that we're pretty excited about.
So Ted, with the interns that you've been working on or working with more recently regarding the sewer treatment plant or the wastewater treatment plant project, were they sourced through One Epic or?
No, it was a slightly different program. Although, I'm trying to remember, I think we met. We used the One Epic facilities for some of our meetings during the semester as went along. And shameless plug, tonight at the village board meeting, they're making their presentation to the mayor and the village board. And then Monday there's a more in-depth presentation too. But it looks at using renewable energy sources, solar, batteries at the wastewater treatment plant in an effort to save residents money, with their utility costs, things like that. But the 3 students were sourced through the engineering program. Similar process. Our company put together a proposal, a pitch. Students were allowed to respond to that. I had 3 really great students, a mechanical engineering student, an electrical engineering student, and a computer science or a computer engineering student. And they collaborated with myself, with the mayor, with Chris at the wastewater treatment plant, all semester long looking at that study. But it didn't come from the One Epic structure. It came from the SUNY New Paltz structure. But then again, we used the One Epic facilities to meet, talk, collaborate with the printer and the Wi-Fi and the coffee and tea for some, snacks for others, along the way. Again, the biggest benefit for us is we don't have to worry about the other things. We come in, we get our work done, we're right to work. Julie and Nicole, they take care of everything else.
Richard, have you tell us a little bit about like how you use One Epic and whether you use the internship program at all?
I haven't used the internship program, although as you were describing it sounded like a really good idea and something that I might in the future. I work for Court-Appointed Special Advocates of New York State. Our main office, our office is in Albany. I live in New Paltz. Like Julie, I grew up here. So prior to all of this, my job was at least in part remote. I went into our office 1 or 2 days a week. So One Epic has been great for me as a place to go and work and still be in town and be able to walk to Starbucks or someplace else. So I've really appreciated that, and just having some of the resources, like Ted was saying, like some of the structure is already there, which is really helpful, and kind of the things you need just to work. So I really miss not having that. And looking forward to, even in our awkward socially distanced way, getting back to it.
What do you guys, what can you describe a little bit about how you think the awkward socially distanced, version of One Epic Place, what it'll feel like? Like, what do you expect?
Well, we practiced a little this week. And it wasn't so bad. I think, Julie's worked very hard at putting a plan together. We have coming in this way, going out that way. We've been getting used to communicating, wearing masks, and just being mindful spatially, which is interesting because it's an office space. So we have to just be mindful of who's in the kitchen and, just being more aware, like, okay, I'll wait here until that person leaves that area. I think it's gonna take some practice and being around each other.
I think the most difficult thing is we are like a big community of huggers, as so many people in New Paltz are. And so that's been kind of the most awkward thing, because we're so used to just hugging each other, hello. And like yesterday, I was in here getting some stuff set up for next week, and we have someone who does essential services who is here using the building, and we just wanted to hug each other, but we can't. But you feel the love coming out anyway. So yeah, so that'll probably be the most awkward thing.
Got it. Ariana, who's on our call, she brought to my attention that there's actual like state or county guidelines in terms of how offices should work. So is that the framework you've been following? Yeah,
that's the safety plan that I mentioned before. They give you really specific guidelines. I know exactly what products I need to have on hand. We have to keep a log of people coming in and out of the building. People are either supposed to be taking their temperature before they come here, or we're going to have a contactless thermometer if they don't. And we'll have signs out front telling people to stop, and they have to kind of read the protocol before they come into the building. Certain rooms have like our shared space is going to have 4 specifically designated spots that people can sit at that are all a certain distance apart. So yeah, it's the state and county have really provided everything that we need to know how to reopen and what to do. So
great.
Yeah.
Ted, you were saying you have to take off. Okay. Ted said goodbye. KT, did you have any thoughts or questions?
It's so interesting. I didn't think that the conversation about the students was going to come up. So I'm thinking, we have a bunch of students that work for us. I have 4 in New Paltz right now. This is this cute little story. 2 of them live like 2 houses down from me. So we've been able to communicate like across backyards. It's been a cute little small town thing, I'd love to keep talking to you all about how you're going to deal with the students and all that. So that's interesting. Also, I should point out when we did a Zoom call with our sister city in Japan, and we were talking about this whole hugging thing. I pretend to not be a hugger, but I am, or at least I've grown into one. But we were talking about maybe we'll start bowing, or doing, contactless, new cultural ways of greeting and saying goodbye. Yeah. Because I think handshakes and hugs are gonna be a thing of the past now, right?
Yeah. But I think embracing new traditions, right, will be fun and interesting. So
I love the idea of learning from other cultures too. We don't have to invent it.
Mm-hmm.
Got it. Any other like ideas that you guys wanted to share with us?
I'll just say one more quick thing about Epic and what we're doing differently to try to help meet people where they are and accommodate people in different situations that we haven't really done before. Typically, it's you can use space as a guest or as a member. So we've kind of come up with a middle ground for people that are in a new situation where they might be displaced for just a month or two. So if anyone is in that situation where they can't make a commitment, you know, like a year or 6-month commitment, they can, we have a new starter package, and we're doing something also in collaboration with the chamber. So I just encourage everybody to check that out, or just call us and chat. I'm happy to talk to anybody and tell them what we got going on.
Seems like that could make sense too, with people who may be more willing to experiment with working remotely. That, you know, they need to see if, you know, this is the direction they should, you know, head in as they return to work. So I'd imagine there'd probably be some demand for that.
Yeah, we always want to make sure it's a good fit for somebody. So we're open to, you know, people trying things out. And, you know, like I said earlier, you know, the way we've grown Epic has been so organic, and it's really just been from listening to what people need. So, you know, if there's somebody out there who just has a situation and they just don't know how they're going to make it work, like, reach out to us. We are always open to new ideas and trying new things and just seeing what we can do for people. So
what's on your wish list for Epic? Like, you know, where might you grow organically next?
Well, so we are working on a local project. You know, there's been several things over the last like 5 years that people have asked us or requested that just due to space limitations, we haven't been able to accommodate them. But we are working on a project with another organization that will be quite a large amount of square footage, where we might be able to provide those things, larger co-working space, performance venue, event venue. You know, I won't go into all of it, but it's pretty exciting, and that's on the docket for 2021. So
Yeah, that's interesting. So KT just said goodbye, but she had another meeting. But yeah, you know, it's interesting your comment about like you try to grow organically. You just kind of need to be nimble and respond to maybe what someone needs, and you try to figure it out for them. So what might be like the example of like the most surprising thing that you never expected one Epic becoming, but it's a part of who you are now?
I think catering to the creative community, artists, musicians, actors, that was not something we saw in the initial vision, but it's something we embrace so much. Nicole and I are both on the board for the arts community organization, and we really support the arts. So, so that is something that we've had to accommodate, and hopefully this new space will be able to even accommodate them more. And then I would just say, like, the private spaces that we have now, that's not something that we initially planned to do, but our initial model worked, meaning we had people come here to start their business, and then they grew so quickly that they actually did need their own private space, but they wanted to stay part of our community and our family. So we added that option. And so now we have these private spaces, but they're still part of the community. So it's been interesting making that work. And like we said, we have so many different types of industries. So under one roof, which is exciting. So that's been cool.
Good stuff. Well, and I really love the fact that your you know, your main building there is probably one of the most beautiful buildings on Main Street, and you're just doing such a great job of maintaining it, and just adds a lot to our community's character. It's a great structure.
I really have to give credit to the Pine family. It's still in their family since the 1800s. And just side story, my dad was really good friends with Van, who grew up in this house, and he used to stop here on his way home from school for a snack when he was like a little kid. So yeah, it kind of has a special place for us.
Excellent. So any concluding words, thoughts? Richard, anything from you?
No,
Well,
I'm just, thank you for doing this. It's just nice to hear where things are.
Yeah, it's nice to check in.
And great questions, Tim.
Thanks.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, good seeing everyone, and hopefully, we'll see each other in real life soon too. All right, thanks
All right, thank you,
everybody.
Tim. All right, have a good day.
Bye.
Bye.